All about fit too. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. I hope everybody is doing good on this Thursday night. Yes, Bucs Chat live show. You guys know how it is. You can have your say. Join the WhatsApp group. Link is below. Mr. Tato called it a crying session, and he was saying crying session loaded just before we clicked go live. So I'm gonna want your thoughts on what you want to cry about. But yeah, we have a bunch of things to talk about. What's about feet too? Let's say like therapy session, safe space to get everything off your chest. So yes, I am joined by the technical director, Mr. Coach, Mr. Ben, and Mtato's the 2000. Of the Coco Melon of the Happy People. It's Team Buffett.
Ui. Hai. Sokhala mapakane. Sokhala namhlanje so we are airing it all out.
Yeah, let it all out. All right, Buffett. So as you guys know, a lot has happened ever since we last had our therapy session. Buffet too. We were talking about second stars and things like that. So yeah, guys, let's just talk about how we feel about the fact that we're out of the CAF Champions League. Let's just start with that. How do you guys feel?
Was there Bucs Chat live last week, dog?
Not at all, sir. When I'm tattoos, when departure, goodbye. Pyramids handed the opportunity to go hand Sundowns the second star. We won it.
Oh, yeah, very sad game. That game, especially for the way it played out, because I thought we were the better team, but Pyramids just had much more experience than us. They knew how to close out the game. The keeper was doing the normal falling down, la chain, what we like to say, la chain, la.
Yeah.
The Pyramids keeper was doing the same thing. I don't know if it was inexperience or because we saw it in the previous game against Alger. MC Alger. I don't know why we couldn't do the same thing against Pyramids when it mattered the most. But oh my word, what a disappointing display. I think from the defense more especially, more than the front players, our defense was not good at all. And to follow that defeat, we get defeated by Skukune next off.
Yeah.
Oh, Paris just keeps.
It's good.
What a terrible week to be a Pirates fan.
Oh, Buffett. Yeah, what a terrible week. Okay, initial thoughts. Mr. Ben, your initial thoughts. How did you feel on that fateful day when we bowed out while it was in our hands and we just gave it away against Pyramids?
I still crying even now. I don't know how long I've been crying for because maybe Pyramids it for this maybe I'll feel better then, but if Sundowns were there 12 star service too, it would be even worse.
But here we are again, hoping another club beats Sundowns.
Yes, unfortunately, because it can't be us. Go shower Pyramids. But yeah, anyway, for now, to coach Richie.
You're putting it on him. Live.
I want to pay you before game. Anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
I was there.
How? I get coach. Yeah, decide already. I'm fitting understanding. Got office Kora.
obviously usansana chisa wamonza ufaka Tito unsa Mbatha ufaka Dlamini. Those people in fact you feel Messi phambili with the ball. Feel it is something, but when we're defending they give you nothing. So Rashford got 2 players grand sharp. So Fitch. And even shortly after that, in Fitch, I think a minute later or two, were equalizer. And then the rest is history. So that's just how I see it. If Fede Natswetse ka yona formation a Kenya another defender shut the back door, Fitch Rawina.
Shut the back door, bro.
Would have been in the final. Got 2-1 there. Those subs instead, if it you come in fit, you are sharply shut the back door.
Sure.
See what we are doing, going at them. Got 2-1 fit. Any million or minus some maharing. And after Mobo Ramadan, Libo Maele Bashina Arena, but bonus Karina. So and actually the most painful thing is something in Kayon. Actually, Coco Melon Sharp really scream about face.
That will be forgotten for time to come.
Yeah.
The gold tailoring Fetu if we won that, they would be speaking about them for weeks to come.
Thank you, Mtatos, for changing the colors there.
Yeah, no. I was like, no ways.
No,
something's not right.
Something's not right.
So, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, so Fade, we'll take it. We'll take it and move. It's a trouble ahead next season. Try again next year. Yeah, Axena. I can see the date. It's a finally device, but I feel. And then
the thing for me is also, I mean, I don't know. No buaka finals on Nedbank kapa our meaning session that we have to have against Sundowns. Friends of Mayele.
I can say you work a friends of Mayele.
Keep the pyramids.
But you can wire some time
He's 30 years old, guys. I also was very excited, but how many seasons can you honestly get from him?
Pick of career, I feel. And then losing the last night his Kukune. Fitch. Now the league Arsabua
there's no chance, man.
Arsabua Kadigi. And then now the worst part Gorbanji such a the excellent confident Fitch.
No,
yeah.
Sure.
Neither.
If you do
Tabaya confidence and then Tabaya importance, because I'm pretty sure if we had bigger fish to fry and if it was more about, okay, we need these 3 points, because we could have looked at this game. If we played well yesterday, we could have looked at this game here, Chiefs, for the league, and we would have looked at it as just 3 points that we always would need in order to push forward. So now that we bottled it, it means that there's less motivation going into this game against Chiefs, meaning Chiefs can capitalize on that, and then if they actually beat us or something, they could actually take that momentum and take it to the final. So we might be on a spiral that's going downwards, Buffett. We might be on a spiral that's going in the wrong direction. Mr. Coach, how do you feel about?
To pick up from where you are, Vele. First of all, as the coach, how do you motivate the players for this derby? Because you can't convince me to want to go to the stadium, even if one got ticket or transport key. Honestly speaking, so it's very tricky. It's very scary, man. Oh, and also I remember I did the numbers and I figured out that the only thing we're playing for left this season in Nedbank Cup and making sure we secure Champions League football. We secure Champions League football for next season. Second place to make it, we need 8 points from 7 games. translates to I don't need to beat Chiefs to make second place.
Uh-huh.
Don't have to beat Chiefs to make second place. Vetu, 8 points is just 2 wins and 2 draws from 7 games, which means I can. All this to say, I'm worried about the derby. I don't see how the coach can motivate him. José Riveiro, best case scenario, MTN and Nedbank. Same way, came here. So yeah, that league game. And the Chiefs and Victor are kind of playing for top 80, kind of trying to do something. So not so much that
they actually are. I mean, they are in the top 8 right now. Just that Chipa is on the heels, 1 point behind, and yeah, they've played 2 less games, meaning they've obviously got 2 games less in hand or left in hand. And with that said, Chiefs is on 26 games, meaning they're actually like in the final stretch of their season. They can be motivated, and like they've got all the right to be motivated.
They definitely, without question, are more motivated than we are to win this game. Definitely, there's a lot more at stake for them than there is for us. And what irks me, dog, what really hurts me about this whole situation is that we are in a position to make an. Let's not forget this has been our best season in years. You might even argue over a decade it's been our best season. And right now we're capable of reducing it to another MTN and just Nedbank in terms of like it just being the same as Jose's first season. Which is terrible, bro, considering that we broke so many records this season. So many milestones.
The trajectory, I hear you, dog.
To just throw it into the trash in the at the business end, bro. Business end of the season. And I'll end it with this little bit argument here. Last week, less than 7 days ago, or like 7 days ago, if you told me about Pizzo, I kept saying no, thank you. Pizzo's going to take away my football and whatnot. Today, he's probably my best candidate because it's all well and good to have flair and nice things on the pitch and the beautiful things, young stars and whatnot, all the great things. But you need to get over the line, bro. I'm just touching also. I'm touching a little bit on the Champions League game. That change, I'm looking at Jose and I'm saying. Yeah, this is your first season in this thing. Pizzo doesn't make that kind of mistake. Yeah, so you bring Pizzo this time around. I celebrate. And I'm saying, you know what? Between Champions League and League, it's sure it will be only one.
Yes.
And then
with this current group, they need to win it, bro.
No, I'm saying what ended up happening now. I get you were saying, okay. You're saying with Pizzo, you are. And how long? How long would it take? And okay, you know what? Before we get to that, let's talk more about the politiki bafethu. So we just basically summarize right now how the trajectory went from wanting league or at least CAF to settling for league.
Quadruple in line for a quadruple.
But we never, because what happened was that we kind of imagined getting the CAF and letting Sundowns have the league, right? We didn't fathom. We could have even thought about, okay, maybe if Al Ahly beats Sundowns and then loser in the CAF, maybe Sundowns can league and then but then we never thought that we'd be now in the position where we are handing Sundowns 2 majors. So what has that come down to? It seems like it might be a mental issue and stuff like that. So my question is, do you guys think the announcement that Jose leaving happened a bit too soon, to the point where now that they've crumbled, it caused them to just have a meltdown on some? We were hoping for CAF. We kind of blame Jose for him drinking us in the CAF. He won't get his league now. Probably he hasn't been motivating us the whole season about the league. Now today about the league, Mr. Mtatos, you know he want to that announcement and its timing.
Look, I really thought it would like maybe give that at the time. I really thought it would have given the team like a motivating about fit. Last season, yeah, Jose, like let's give him something where it's more than what he's done for all the time that he's here. Give him like a calf, which was the most likely one. Now the league is gone. The calf was the only opportunity at the time, but now, in hindsight, it might have been the incorrect decision to announce Jose's leaving at that time, because I don't know,
Hindsight.
the players know, man. They weren't up for it. They weren't like fighting for the badge as we saw them before. They weren't leaving they are all on the pitch. Well, some players did.
Yeah.
But some
They
players
didn't dig deep enough.
didn't. They didn't dig deep enough. And look, it might have been those news. I'm not too sure. I don't think it should have been. But yeah, it might have been those news. It might have.
Well, okay, Mr. Penn, your opinion on that?
Okay, question. So timeline, when was the announcement?
I think I can tell you, but announcement that thing, I think we had still had to play against Alger by the time that it happened.
Wasn't it long before even?
Well, around then. So what's the point? I'll come with the dates, yeah.
So probably before we played the quarterfinal.
Possibly,
and then okay, I'm just trying to think about how the games have been since then. To be honest, it's only been the Pyramids loss, actually, for the way I see it. That's we were always confident to get along this season. Kev is something I don't think it's to work, so we're very confident about it. We never even lost in a game there. We never lost a season. And the only game we lose is the most important one out of them all. So I am to Awona, and then Ishwawanali game Mawan as Kukuni.
Yeah.
I also had other reviews and all. I want to look at Agoshandu. Oh yes, actually before I get there. Same day, yeah, pyramids. Maybe not because actually it's was no closer there. Was senior because and Nathan suddenly true and why bad sure going forward very good man. She didn't get defender. Hobambonyana kada.
Yep.
And lima obani in the same case no boni kemang tani kelito mahaula. Actually, that's actually how even the red card came about, just busy because he had to be covering so you see, okay, I'd say against Pyramids, that's not the coach, he's essentially a coach, but now
what do you mean?
I think it was most his fault.
Not the announcement.
You're saying, okay, yeah, no, whatever happened at Pyramids, I feel like we can kind of isolate it. It's what we're taking from the reaction, yeah.
Yeah, but you see, another game, if you can make a break, like, actually, like at this point, Sailing Chauri, it's very Kausan Rajiwa. If Hira Pizzo, Rulan, or whoever, let them start very next Monday, next business day. Because
once, once, I bet that would be
did in the quarterfinal, and it frustrates me so badly because I saw the team against MCLJ. We had it in us. We had it in us to get we had it in us to score one goal in the tie and defend the entire tie from that goal. I don't know, maybe Jose wanted to leave with a bang. Maybe Reshape Pyramid is too much, but my word, coach, my word, Jose. Come on, man. You can't. He drank us. KPI. He drank us.
Banwele.
Aye.
Jose Bafetune, Obanwele, Kafka that game against Pyramids, and then backline kaofela ya Tusi, Leona ya continue. Bara ngoma sibshaya nige. And that was us crashing out of the Champions League, and everybody just sulked. Never stopped sulking, head down. Nigga, well, KP during the he's currently head down, shoulders down, no confidence.
Even facial expression
no leaders.
when he came off, Mauban.
No leaders. Look, now it goes back. It makes me ask myself a question, and I think I should ask you guys as well. Did we not overachieve by getting to the CAF Champions League semi-final in the first place?
I don't think so.
When you, okay, Fade. I haven't figured out what I think of that, especially because, again, it wasn't Jose's hands, and the player won that game. But if I don't know anything about this Pirates campaign and I'm only reading about it 5 years later, I'm like, oh, a very young squad, a very thin squad with a coach who's never done this before. Oh, they lost to Pyramids, a big money team. Well, it happens in football. Like, in hindsight, of course, I can always look at it and think to myself, oh, well, maybe we just didn't have what it took in the first place. Like the fact that we basically only have 12 players. The fact that we only have 12 players, give or take. And again, Jose Ubanwele, but Jose had limitations going into the tournament in the first place. So I'm asking myself, that's why I ended up swaying to the whole pizza thing, to ask myself, well, things like the league, the Champions League, it's not easy to win them for the first time. If our guys are riding you, it's not that it's impossible, but it's not easy. And did things just not rectify themselves? Are we not in a situation where, well, statistically, when you're in that situation, you actually don't win the league, don't win the Champions League? Just to conclude, we were still in the league before yesterday. We were very much in it. It could have ended on the last day. I'm not saying it wasn't up to us. It was up to Sundowns to drop points, but we could have kept the pressure up until the last day, kept it on them. Now, it's like we're not having a record-breaking season. Nothing matters anymore. What's one? Waste. Jose's legacy. 10 years. Explain that, Jose. How are you going to tell people that Jose was one of the best coaches we ever had, Co-Pirates? Because they're going to look and be like, never won the league, though. Never won the Champions League.
Yeah, if you want to say one of the best, you need at least one of those to click.
Yeah,
you need a league. You need a league medal, dog. But gents, there's one thing. KEF was going to be enough for us to cover that, right? Mara the VAR rights or the log after 30 games, or in this case 28 games, does not lie. The best team is number one after 28 games.
That be the
truth. This is just
that be the truth.
Quantifying and finalizing, or, well, yes, he was incredible, but maybe second best nonetheless.
Ooh, I mean, look at Ben, head and hands. Well, the thing is, now we are going to go back to hindsight and we're going to look at this with a different perspective, especially if we do replace him with somebody who's not as good as him, doesn't get off the ground running as quickly as him. So now there's a couple of things that we need to now look at when we consolidate this whole league, yeah, Jose, or this tenure. Yeah, Jose, besides the cups, we're going to ask ourselves how he won them, why he won them. Because, you know, when we won our 6 trophies, the first 3 was after a long time building the squad, Kroll building the squad. Liel, it looks like in hindsight that he just came to pick off and, you know, have the nice fruits. And then when he had about 2 or 3 transfer windows, that's when the true colors came out. And it was like, well, it's not a treble winning squad anymore. So with your guys' the way Lena Hananga thing, and I'll ask Ben, do you think it's more of the club getting better at development? Is it Joseph Makanya in the Cocomelon department, or was it Vele a big chunk José Riveiro's Spanish guitar note playing there?
That created what this
Yes.
success.
This almost CAF and this almost league, and Sundowns can spend as much as they want. We got this.
Okay, let me put it like this. Firstly, there was Kroll, right?
Yeah.
And Kroll, Konje, I think the season before he missed it by a point or two, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Goal difference.
Goal difference. Yeah, I remember to score about 5 goals or something like that to win. Then I think it was Super Sport, right? If I'm not mistaken. Then he won it the next season. And then it became a treble winning squad. And then Liel continued, Libo Palacios.
Yeah.
And then after went through a turmoil of coaches, I think Nilibu VV, or I don't remember the sequence, but what I do remember is that 2013 Nereleko Kef. So I think Nili Roger Tessa, right?
Sure.
I think
That was Roger, yeah.
Yeah. So this same treble winning squad, the very next season, Ile Kef Champions League final. So over the years, I think since the year we lost the league by goal difference until 2013, it was flowing nicely. The whole Okone Premier Club in Trinidad is a political partner, and obviously Lee Ruud Krol was obviously an excellent coach and built a wild machine. So now, before Jose, kana sequence very jwang ona le mo ya bo Michu and ke re le Borulane. And then that's when we started being second place. Did he come directly after that?
Mr. Coach?
Nah. Right after Micho and Rulani, after Rulani we got
Zimbabwe.
We got Shelly on the Fred for 6. No, you're right. I think we got Zimbabwe, and then we got after Rulani we got Zimbabwe. After Zimbabwe we got Mandla Leading.
Patrick Davids.
Mandla Fad, yeah. And now we got then Jose.
And then came Jose.
Okay, so that sequence, wait, what was wrong, Mr. Penn?
I would say it all comes from the Michu generation, the Michu time, because before Michu, more than we already see that.
Yeah, that
before Mo really got to not playing MTN 8. So so I remember Michu. Like now we look to see it Pagani and Pechu.
And then you got headhunted same time.
Yeah, and then I felt it was a bit shaky after that, but we were still second place, and still second place till today. So Fede, Jose, Okonuti, Sadi Capo, and I think from here we should just keep going, just getting better. If Rachola Kuchek ran Pechu, then the machine should keep flowing. I think the next 2-3 seasons should be great, especially considering Hori Kunaldi Cocomelon Musquating the city old crop that during the quarter retirement.
Yeah, true. Okay, so it won't rest too much on the next manager. So what are now our expectations going forward?
Also, Barkaile, I think 22-25 million for KEF. So, ish, cooperating
something. Please,
guys. I will come down where we are. But, I mean, it kind of makes sense why Sundowns, Leonard, in the transfer market, they spent a lot of money, especially because last season, they go on the same spot. So, and then now they're in the final, the very next season. So, if Nancy's Funung in the final page, you can change in a player, please
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tato, Wamutla coach, now he was giving a shout to say Hore Pito would be a good manager slash coach for us to have because of winning mentality and the fact that he's proven he can win a major in the country. So, Harentse re spanisa di foresight le di hindsight wena, what are your expectations? Especially just keep in mind that Mr. Coach was saying, did we overachieve with this squad? So what are your expectations going forward? We should keep on winning every cup. Like, what happens if we get like really close in the league and then we sacrifice the Nedbank, the MTN? Then what?
Yeah, I think when it comes to expectations for the league, I only had confidence in the league. Or maybe next year we'll do it. Only because of the coach, which is Jose. So right now, I don't think that should be our goal.
Which is
After-
Jose, by the
After he's
way.
leaving, which is Jose. Definitely.
Nah,
It's
confidence
definitely
in Jose. yeah.
The players are good enough, but it was him. It was always him all the time. So now,
Mara Mafet. Ki young coach Pela waiting. He's never won a league before, Lena. I mean,
no, man, we were getting close. We were close to Sundowns. We were always close to Sundowns.
Why did
And
nobody
he-
Kuza us, Mafit?
maybe
Nobody
now
Kuza us.
maybe now we'll understand what it means to have an experienced coach who's played in those type of levels before. Kiyo Pito, Erguaka Pito has won it with 2 clubs in Africa, not just one. So I faith you. We're gonna win a league in different countries. We're gonna win a KFE.
As not a plama, as not a plama.
Just pay him what he wants.
Yeah, no, we need to get an experience.
Plama ruins our entire project. That whole project, Yabo Makaula, Lebunkota, that whole thing goes down the drain. Pun intended with a plumber. Sorry, Tato, you can continue.
Yeah. No, we need to. Vele. I think Peter Vele, experienced coach, you definitely know what you're getting with Peter. Nah, you definitely know. And I think it should be the next. If it's him, man, I won't be mad. If it's him, by all means, if it's Peter, can I fit on Winella Kef? Winella League or Winella Kef, remember not. But
so it's not about the football ho-ha.
Right now.
I know.
I mean, we
Not right
played
now.
lovely against Pyramids, but what did that get us? What did that
I mean,
get
was
us?
it really lovely? Was it honestly lovely? Well,
At
for
the back
now,
it wasn't,
also...
but going forward, we were very good.
Okay, true.
Going forward, we were very good. We went forward with, like, literally, it was
Everyone.
Nilimba, Tanko, Tanito. Labor evidence. Evidence had his best game by far in a parent shirt for me. And all of that comes from Jose at the back. I don't know what happened. Jose must come forward and explain there. But yeah, if you get Pito, I'm really not interested in how beautiful we play. If we can, like, Paineki feeling right now, because of the way we lost against Pyramids, because of the way we lost against Kupune. The only thing that will replace this hole in me that's painful is like have Champions League or a league. It's us doing this, we win.
Minutes leave, Baba.
That's the only thing that's gonna suit me.
warning that I believe is that, like I was saying to Ben, how much of how far we've gone was the coach or the players? Because now, let's say it is
It's all Jose,
Abito.
bro.
If it's all Jose, that means if the next coach that comes in is different, because it looks like now we've got some of the best players in the league, but we don't know how bad that looks when when they're coached by someone else. I get it. So are we willing to? Because now we are saying no. No, let's have Pito. Pito, come here. Thank you very much. Now come win us things. Because why? Because we are looking at our squad right now and saying, no, but this is good enough to. Because we feel like that game against Pyramids, we lost it ourselves. We were actually the better team, and everybody else is saying that. Meaning, we feel like we are actually good enough to do big things. Actually, is how we feel. So now, if a different coach comes in and then actually can't work with our players, are we going to say, no, man, we already had good players, use them and win? Or are we going to give him a chance to build his own squad and then we're just going to look at this squad of ours and just be like, I feared it. I guess whoever had to go, had to go.
We just need to add, bro. We just need to add on our current squad. Obviously, if you take a microscope, you see things like Makaola. We don't know where we'll be with him next season. A player like, yeah, what a player! He deserves a shout for this whole season, by the way.
Yep.
His own little, he must get some.
Yeah, it's been one of our most important this season, bro. Yeah.
Without question, our most consistent. Well, him and Chain. And if he's consistent as a goalkeeper, and then we're talking about some serious consistency there.
True.
No, so I think we just need to add. Now, the reason why I say it's all Jose or Refitle Morelengo thing is I'm not sure if we'll ever see Nkota reach this level with a different type of coach. If I'm talking about in the past, if we had a different coach, was Nkota going to start against Amazulu that night? And so that's grim. Was Nkota going to start against Bulustad?
Yeah.
Was he going to get those chances as an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old? That's one. Mufokeng, he started as a 17, 18-year-old. Was he going to get 6 straight games where he was having stinkers? Because I remember in his first season, he had many stinkers. And Jose always kept giving the faith back to him, allowing him to play through bad form, allowing him to learn on the pitch. Was he going to get that game time that allows him to learn on the pitch again, like I'm saying, and become the player he is today? Because he has paid back Jose's investment tenfold type of thing.
True.
There's an example that PhD always says, if it's not Jose, does Chain really become our number one goalkeeper? I don't know about that.
And actually, this also goes back to another thing. The other thing, does Tito get a chance to Gibela game after game without
and grow confidence and become that character that he is today? Yeah.
And do we go to the stadium and do we start these channels? So how much is I think what's happening here is that we must accept it's time to eat our vegetables now. So, Mr. Ben, how much are you willing to sacrifice style of play, beauty of the football? Because basically Jose and Pito are like polar opposites in terms of footballing philosophy.
Sorry. Before you answer, Ben, I think KB is not right there with that. Pito's still a possession coach. He's still an attacking coach. I think the biggest difference is a legendary player in terms of environmental express. I think that's the biggest difference, is that Pito will be rigid a little bit more often than Jose will. Players won't be allowed Namela Polo, and he has a bit of a... Pito likes young players, but he also likes to keep a balance of young and old, so a little bit fewer young players in the squad. But from a style of play, they really aren't that far from each other. Sorry, please go on.
Sharp. Philosophy, style of play, feed.
Pizza and feed to getting done. I'm not so worried because and besides, like I've also seen under Pito King in any KGB, Dolly, Castro, Lima, Billiard. And then after Moe, he changed it. He kept changing it, and like we've seen some very beautiful things under leadership here, Pito. So I ain't complaining about the style of playing on. Only thing obviously would be I doesn't like the show. I don't like the show. Oh, what's up, like, if I'm Aji, I'm Shapaka show, Pucci. Didn't like the show.
Was it necessary?
Was it necessary? and then ever time go MTN 80 ka first game ya teng ya ba botsitse he ora they playing game. Playing game. Yeah, but I would also say, like, in terms of style of play, like, to be honest, like, no, it's not. It's like, actually, when the season first started, the style of play was beautiful and all those things. But as the players started getting injured and all those type of things, it keeps changing. Arsa shapa long ball the way or long ball ya shapi maraisa pita because aisa shapa kisesane or kinda. There's just a lot of change that happens, and Lily now was 80 squad and also I could say the past few games I'd say like the game earlier, like the Polokwane City game, 1-0. There was that 1-0 game also, Marumo Gallants. Like, I can fit you a lot of the games. Later on, it's a careful. It's a careful would excuse them because they were cup games and all, but it wasn't our style of play.
Yeah, well,
hasn't been
for now I
play.
took it down as business end of the season, but at the end of the day, when the going got tough, we still relied on the youngsters, because that is the identity of the team. So I think my biggest question was, do we sacrifice that excitement that we have going to the stadium for the trophies? So what it seems like to me, if we had somebody like Pizzo, I don't know what you think, Mr. Coach, it would be a situation where we kind of just, okay, Pirates, okay, obvious we're gonna win, but we only start getting excited, I say, business end, because now we are expecting more. Kind of like you're saying, right now we have overachieved and maybe our expectations were too high because of what we were showing. But yeah, I feel like there has to be that sacrifice already. Not every game is going to be exciting, even with the best players.
I don't agree that much, dog.
Yeah.
I don't agree that much. Pito's football is beautiful, bro. You just can't put your knees on the ball, dog. You just can't stand on the ball. That's all that you must sacrifice. I can sacrifice show poaching. I want to lift trophies, KP. I want to celebrate.
Yes,
for me, that's it's a non-starter bracket. What I won't take, what I won't accept is helicopter football like Kevin Hunt. That one, not in my club. But dominant, keep the ball football. Let's have it, bro.
Keep and bua ka coach o hlaba Al Ahly 5-0 in fit.
True. It doesn't matter how we did that.
Away they the best defenders. Hlaba 5-0. Baba after move. So in fit you Pizzo. Look, let me put it to you this way. This man, he built Supersport. Kevin Hunt came over and then won it 3 years back to back. He built Sundowns, and since he's left till date, Sundowns is still winning the league. So I
8 years in the making.
Tell him whatever he wants.
You're not focusing broke, no.
Yeah, Mucho Lukisa team for how many years has Sundowns been dominating during his time and during after he left? I'm sure maybe it's a full decade.
Fede. So, Mr. Tato, do you believe with his ego and the way he wants the way, like it's my way or the highway when you look at Pizzo, and the same thing with Dr. Khoza? Do you feel like such a relationship would work? And if we are saying that it wouldn't work, does it now mean that we really and truly just have to look for the best plumber? Because those who come, because even if you think about it, it seems like because Sarona, if they do well after being nobody, they are being poached. Meaning, the
right.
better they get,
Better,
the
yeah.
more out the door they are going. So what does this mean? What does this mean, Mr. Tato, in terms of Vele? Do we have to go look for the best plumber, or can we start making shouts and wishing for the best?
Before you answer, I have a question. So Joseph Zimbawa was he a plumber or was he a good coach? Because Joe Fetso Shapa moved to Tanzania. So, and I'm also considering we also went Bumad, was 11 games winning back to back or something like that. So it's in La Fit.
Joseph arrived the plumber. Mfethu, his CV. How we determine a plumber is his CV. Has he proven that he can do these things before? And when Joseph Zimbabwe got to the PSL, he had proven nothing. We gave him his platform. A dope thing about him is that, like Jose, he won right after arriving. It's a vela fitla at top of MTN 8 and did a huge trophy drought. And then and about Joseph Berana Patinyana, Joseph so I have a little bit of sympathy to him and his time in the PSL. He wasn't given a full 3 seasons. It's questionable if he deserved it in the first place, but I would like to believe he definitely arrived the plumber. I don't think that one is even questionable.
You know, I think one parents learner sometimes it can be disappointing at times.
Pagania.
Can be so disappointing. How long since when was the last time you could celebrate that we are in a semi-final?
Of
And-
what?
Of what?
2018.
When was only the Nedbank and the MTN 8, but when last did we celebrate or we were in a semi-final at Kev?
Is that something to celebrate or
2018.
just participate?
I mean, we did celebrate.
Was
it.
2018 Kev or was it Confed?
Confed.
That's the last time. That's the last time that we had a semi-final in the CAF in the history of the CAF. So
yeah.
the problem now, Mr. Koza needs to realize now this is an opportunity. A guy win a CAF with it. Loudly said the plumber, we can actually go the distance, go CAF Champions League. We were 1 game away from a final, and I think if we got to the final, we were winning it. That's just my opinion. But Mr. Koza needs to now realize for a fit. If we Timia out here fit the semi-final. So now let's build on board. For the next season, we make sure we either get to that same point and go past it, or at the very least compete, go leaguing. At the very least, because I think a team compete really
turning it into a farmers league.
So Mr. Koza Tlamela realized we came very close to the CAF. So why not just bring in a coach who can actually win it, not plumber? Some fit to coach Luring. Hasn't fit like a semi-final in Katsebo. Coach A is gonna deliver no matter what. So I mean, but plumber, we need to win. We need to win now. And we've been raving about the team. We're such a good team. Or this player's doing this player's doing that. If we're gonna let all of these players be good without winning a trophy, what good are they really?
Can I just say, Mr. Coach, I just wanted to take a look at our squad, because we are talking about winning now. Right now, in the striking department, I think we're still okay. I think it's either we promote the radio man or we get a striker, right? Okay, Sharp, we might need a striker. So I'm just saying, those are people of decent ages. Those are people of decent ages. Midfielding.
I'll talk a striker.
Mofokeng, Kota, Tito, Mbata, Dlamini, all decent ages. Makatlin Makaula, Ndlondlo, those I could say maybe they are of the older type, so maybe just one or two more. You can even put in somebody already experienced in there, and then when we go to the defense, we'll add Hoto in there with Ndasbi, Sisesane, Fanroen, Makokogi, Munyane, Mayela, Shandu, Mbogazi, and Ndlozi. So with that said, I would say you can even add an experienced centre back to that. And then basically what I'm trying to say is that we actually have to do this now, Buffett, because we do currently have before the squad expires, basically. Before the squad expires. So we might tell Dr. Koza, please just see this as a one season thing. If we could get a treble with this, with this team, and then we get another treble with a different coach the next season, like you did with Liel and Kroll, please hire somebody that is just going to take us over the line. We can't start a whole new journey now, Buffett. That's all I wanted to say, Mr. Coach. You were saying?
Hey, distracted, Praga. How are sharp go striking are you grand enough with you? Honestly, Arna striker Praga. Okay, you know what? Just to confirm, to complete your statement, I think we can get over the line, even in the CAF, with about 5 steps, but we need a minimum of 5 major signings. I'll explain just now. We need a goal scoring striker. No questions asked. Aye, we need a goal scorer without question. We don't have enough firepower in the striking department. We need at least one other incredible winger. Maybe incredible is not the right word, but a winger that can beat his man. A type of profile. Not even him, but we need a relay backup, like you mentioned, a relay / quarter backup.
Okay, cool.
We need a midfielder, a marquee midfield signing, Braga. You can get away with an 8, but you actually need a 6. We need a number 6 that is headline kind of player, break the bank. Koki is leaving. Koki First of all, Lemaela is basically going to retire as well, so I would say you need actually 2 center backs, but you can take one. Definitely need one center back at least, again, that can fight for starting place. Doesn't have to be the one that starts, but at least fights for a starting place. And we need Fawaz Basadin, not a left back. We need him, Fawaz Basadin himself. Lentera Hotule, we are seeing one of the important players we had this season, but you don't win the Champions League with a player who does not do the ball. We need Fawaz Basadin, and I think if you add just those 5, I could even go down and start listing the players besides the striker. Add a police or add a midfielder Grande or add a Basadin and find another center back there. You can go fight. You can say Sundowns, let's go again. But you are right, Mfethu, with the aging squad. First of all, Makaula, I don't know if he's going to get an extension or not. He probably will, but we don't know for sure. Miguel team, does it even matter if it doesn't get whether or not it gets an extension? We don't know because Nasajali anyway.
How's it gonna extend? Yeah.
So get lo pin that I go striking down. Matata that we need to sign this.
Okay, Buffett. No, Keluta. Guys, I think I have one final thing that we just need to tackle. As we are at the end of this, guys, if you're coming in, just hit the like. If you're watching later, please just comment on what do you think we need to do to strengthen our squad, no matter the coach, especially if we are looking at just getting over the line, because we are almost there. Or do you guys really think that we should revamp the whole squad already? Bafetsu, did we announce it too soon? If we hadn't announced it, do we see a different Pirates against Pyramids? Do we see a different Pirates against Skukune Maubane? If not, why not? So, do you guys think we announced this departure of José Riveiro too soon?
And I believe so. I think even his own psychology was different. Cause I mean, okay, Pedro Tlamo play Maka the Pyramids game, ne? But but I mean, maybe he's thinking it's the last dance, beautiful send off, already win at 2-1, why gets it. I rafa ke botito le ba shape flavor ba itse na tshole 2-3 more goals.
Now, what a champagne, man. Yeah.
So you think, Mr. Ben, so you think there was too much pressure for the coach?
Not, I wouldn't say pressure, like he said the departure thing actually was in his head because now nearly first time when a coach is a substitution. So like now I was shocked. Okay, what does this mean? So now we're going at them and we are winning. And if Van Rooyen just went out, obviously Rashid come round. I feel about I think 2 minutes later, oh. So I'm pretty like I now for now that game really psychology. He knows psychology, the team spirit, the attitude they thing the way. So if they kept it Yana, inside maybe after slowly the cup, no can said different story, but Ausana.
Mtatos?
Oh, yeah, no. Coach Orkatile heavily in that game.
Was the announcement too soon though? If it hadn't been announced, because I'm still trying to think to myself whether it's the before the Pyramids game.
Was it announced before the MCLJ game?
It was announced 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago.
Long
4 to 5 weeks ago. Yeah.
So before the MCLJ game.
Yeah, not way before, but just before. I'll say just before, yeah.
Because I felt like the way we played the quarterfinal and the semifinal was swapped around. We were supposed to play the semifinal the way we played the quarterfinal. We were supposed to play the semifinal. They were swapped
vice
around.
Versa,
vice versa. So I really don't think it was that like Coach Arwavaya, because I mean we saw it in the previous quarterfinal.
Yeah,
he can be able to do it. So I don't think it was the announcement wasn't too soon. I don't think it was.
And you're saying that because you saw 2 instances of quarterfinal banze ba tseba Rwavaya badlala so. Semi-final banze ba qaba Rwavaya badlala so. Yeah, like I said, I'm kishona, yeah.
If that's the case, then why if it was playing on his mind, Khore, I'm leaving, I want to leave with the bang. Why didn't that happen against MCLJ? And what frustrates me the most, Pyramids had the better attack than MCLJ. Why did we defend so much against those people? It's puzzling to me. It's young frustrating. Every time I have to think about how we played that game in the semi-final. So I don't think it was. I think we just we threw it away. We threw it away for ourselves. The coach threw it away for himself. Coach.
Nothing to do with the announcement.
Nothing to do with the announcement. I don't think so.
Mr. Coach, do you concur?
I'm with Chato Praga. I think the announcements fueled them, bro. You could kind of see, especially the way they went in the first half of the Champions League that in Cairo. For me, it looked like they were fueled. Mara, I honestly think everybody put everything. The whole season was banked on CAF Champions League. Everything else would have been a bonus, but especially after we drew Stellenbosch. I think after the draw Stellenbosch, everything became Champions League. Our whole worlds, the whole change room, for sure. If you just walked into Ren Stadium, there, everybody, even the cleaner, was talking about CAF Champions League. And
And second star.
As soon as that went up in smoke, there was nobody there to come pick up the pieces, including the coach. Nobody. I said, I think Cup post match, I could hear Mfetuka press conference after Pyramids game that Jose sounds like he would just finish crying. He just stopped crying to come to deliver this press conference. There was a crackle in his voice. So what we saw yesterday was just people whose hearts were still trying to explain to themselves and everybody what happened in Cairo. So yeah, I don't think there was an announcement for that. The announcement didn't affect their league form in any way. We didn't play league games. It just changed their motivation for the Champions League or about changing the history and also sending Jose off. But as soon as we went up, like, well, Jose.
No way, Jose.
Maroreng gonna carry substitution sale in fit.
Yeah. I have faith. Yeah, let me show you even.
Yeah, no, what's it on there? He saw the headlines. He must have seen some sort of headlines in his heart about doing a miracle in Cairo and winning 3-1 or 4-1 and going on to the final to lift it in a historic youngsters only
2-1 is
team.
not enough.
Vetu, madness, bro. It was
1-0.
20 minutes of madness. Yeah.
1-0 was enough in that game. And we did
Even
that again.
Even 1-1, Tato. 1-1.
Even 1-1 was enough. 1-0 was enough. And we saw that against MC Alger. Only one goal in that time. We defended the entire time. For 45 plus 90 minutes, we defended the entire time. We never went forward. We only went forward. Take it to the halfway line. Ajik. Or defender. I don't know why. Why did he now
without a goal in the semi-final?
Yeah.
Sundowns is in the final without a goal in the semi-final.
Abaskorelanga next. Next. Abakoranga next.
Help them with the goal and they are in the final.
Other team help them.
All you need is 1-1 and it's enough.
Yeah,
So I can't blame the announcement, KP, as a management.
I feel like it was 6s and 7s in the change room in the semi-finals. The dog 6s and 7s in the change room. They didn't.
It was.
Okay, didn't know where he sits. The coach doesn't know where he stands to give instructions. Manda even forgot which changing room is theirs. 6s and 7s. Halftime, Ella. Machimbos, let us wrap it up by giving predictions for. Let's give a double prediction. Kaizer Chiefs and what's the midweek game again?
Golden Arrows.
Arrows. Okay, give a double prediction. Ben, quick fire. Chiefs prediction.
I keep us a draw, no.
Rosie. Another draw.
Yeah, we could get another 1-1 draw.
Mr. Coach, both predictions. Yo, bro, it sucks. I agree with Ben on both fronts. We are going back to that Pirates and that just wastes points. Then I see 1-1, let's say 2.
Mtatus.
I'll change it a bit. 1-0 in the derby, and then draw Golden Arrows. 1-1.
1-0 favor.
0-0 Golden Arrows.
1-0 Chiefs. Ke rona ba winang.
I'll never say that. I can never say that. I can't give that prediction. It's impossible.
So no
yeah, and have you guys seen clips of Lepo? Chiefs are by no regard a good team, chance. They suck. They're terrible.
They aren't, yeah.
They have one player on that front three there who's worthy of mentioning.
Oh, Lollipop.
Yeah, Lilepo. Because I think like Koki. Plus, that's the side he plays. Pray for Koki.
Yeah, I think my prediction will also be, I'd say actually, because Chiefs are gonna score goals because we have a leaky defense, like we just spoke about now. It might be 2-2 against Chiefs, and I also think it'll be a 2-1 favor Orlando Pirates against Arrows. Buffett too. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Buffett, for Bucs Chat live. Be sure to click the WhatsApp group link in the description so you can be part of the conversation. We've got some new members in the group. We will be schooling them and adding them to these Facebook groups that we are using to do Bucs Chat live. Thank you guys for supporting. We have reached our 2,000 subscribers. It's time to go for the 3,000. And Jose, we love you. The last dance, Buffett. The last dance, Buffett. I'm gonna scream. I know. Thank you, Buffett, for joining us, joining me. That will be the Bucs Chat live show on the Happy People TV. Please don't forget to like, hit the subscribe to be notified about Jimbos and Shane Amapaganea so we can grow the community. Go!
Hey, danko.
Danko.
God.